So we're going to tag people.
Okay.
So.
T.Y. Moore, Yetunde Oma, all those people. Everybody. Yeah, yes.
You want to
No. Princess Yeti, yes. Okay, so. Right. I think that's enough now.
Yeah,
we can start.
We've
got an audience already. Yeah, okay. So we need to start. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hi. It's so good to have everyone. Yes. This is Ishola and Doris at Marriage for Life. And we're glad to come to you tonight with a topic that, you know, is so key in this day and age. Yes, a lot of women going through so much stuff. And so we want husbands, make sure your husbands are on this. We need to get the guys to watch this, so we need to be sharing with the guys. Yes, we need to share this with the guys. That's okay, right. So that's once right. You've joined in, welcome. TY is here, welcome. Baby Sola, hello dear, good evening. Yeah, from Ghana. Maureen. Hello, Pastor Mary. Hello. Hello, Maureen. Hello, Maureen. Good evening. Good to see you, TY. Good evening. Good evening, Essay. Good evening. Once you join, just say hello so that we can acknowledge you. Right. You know, drop a comment under there just to let us know you're there. Tonight is going to be a hot one, you see. Why? Because it involves quite a lot of us. I read recently that only 1 in 5 women get straight back into their pre-pregnancy body weight. That's not simple, you know. Not simple, absolutely. And the other 4 struggle through. Some eventually lose it and some never do. Good evening, Amanda. Good evening, Tola. Good evening, all of you. Welcome. Good to see you. Oh, good evening, Mo. Good evening, Sarah. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see everyone tonight. Right. Awesome. So tonight our topic is the changes in your wife's body. So husbands need to be on this. Ladies, make sure that you're sharing this with your husband. They're listening in. Guys need to be. Why don't you press the share button? Let's press the share button. Come on, guys. And invite our friends. Guys, hello, Andy. Hello, Shegu Kumbi. Hello, good evening. Good evening. All right, hi. Have you got anything to say?
Yeah, so I just wanted to greet everyone and welcome you once again to this platform, and trusting that you are going to really be refreshed, and hopefully we believe that this is going to help us appreciate our wives the more, especially us the men, in the way we handle and deal with them with care and with that knowledge, understanding what they really go through, especially post-pregnancy.
Thank you for sharing, TY. Thank you.
And thank you so much, everyone that's sharing right now. And I believe it's really going to bless us all.
Hello, B.
Yeah, hello, B.
Hello, B. Hello, thanks everyone for sharing. Press your share button so that others can join in. That's the guys need to hear this, and ladies need to hear this as well. We do all need to hear this. Okay, so
tonight we're talking about childbirth, changes in women's bodies, plus, you know, the confidence crisis, and hey, husbands, how can we help? Remember, this is, you know, ladies that we met in their youthful age, and, you know, all the talk, the love of my life, the one that I can't do without, and all the rest of it. So, you know, and I know we really meant it those times. And for you to take someone to the altar and actually say, I do, and put a ring on her finger, I believe that, you know, it was true love that led the men to do this. And so now your wife's pregnant. Now you begin to see changes, especially body-wise. You begin to see changes, and you are then wondering, oh, as a man, okay, when I married her, she was like this. Now she's like this. How do I handle the changes? No, for men as well, there's that psychological, how do I handle these changes and how do I support the woman? But for the woman, It's more about their self-consciousness, their self-confidence. More about, does my husband still love me? Am I still attractive enough? There's just a whole load of stuff that's going on in the lady's head. And so husbands, more than ever before, in times like this, your wife needs you.
That's right.
Your wife needs you. So, we're going to look at that and really share and discuss on that tonight. Yes.
But before we carry on, what are those changes in a woman's body after childbirth? What are those changes? Remember, some of these things have led to women actually even committing suicide.
That's right.
Some of these things have led to them going to go and carry out all manner of operations that have led them to death. I read something, someone said, just to please them, make their husbands love them more, love them again. They felt, after childbirth and all the changes. Now, let me even talk about the changes before we then talk. And guys, you're going to have to be contributing to this. What are your thoughts? What are your experiences? And some of the things you've heard. Yes? Fantastic. I love this. So, number one, belly bulge, belly changes. Okay, so there's a lot of accumulation of fat around the belly area. Okay, so that happens because obviously of the production.
Look, Alade Bukola said, "Hello, Pastor. Don't pass my name by today."
Oh.
We're not passing your name by, Buki.
Oh,
God bless you.
God bless you, Buki.
Good,
God bless you, Buki.
So we're saying
we're saying hello. She says, now you're talking. Come on now. Yes. Thank you. Stretch marks. We're talking about, yes. So we're looking at the belly fat, the belly bulge, obviously where the breast milk production has happened during pregnancy and all of that.
That's right.
The hormonal changes. You get extra fat even when the baby comes out around the belly area. And what happens is that takes time. That takes time. Yes.
Okay. Mommy Lena say you passed my name by my name.
Oh,
too.
Mommy.
Hello, Mommy.
Mommy.
God bless you.
Charity. Charity. Hello, my darling sister. Bless you.
We don't intend to pass anybody.
We are not passing anyone by tonight.
We're saying it, but the names keep scrolling very quickly, so sometimes it's difficult to catch up with people as
That's
they're joining
right. We're
in.
not going to pass you by.
Know that we're not passing you by at all.
Fantastic. So now, those changes, what are they? Yes. Who wrote stretch marks? That's part of it.
That's part of it.
Skin changes, stretch marks, spider veins, varicose veins, all of these things. And what's the result of it? Now, apart from the belly bulge, you have the stretch marks and all of that. And around the legs and hips, there are also changes. And then you have changes in the breast size as well. Because after having children, obviously, during breastfeeding, you get the increase in size, but that drops down after breastfeeding. And then you also, because the muscles have relaxed, the breasts then tend to sag. And this happens as you have even more children. So, right. You get that sagging. This is the truth and the reality of life.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes. And so when these changes happen, you find that a lot of women become depressed. A lot of women become anxious.
That's right.
They become conscious of themselves in front of their husbands, especially in the bedroom. They become highly conscious of themselves. They don't even, feel comfortable just undressing with the lights on in front of their husband. This is the truth.
Yeah.
And so it then leads to, what you call insecurity.
That's right.
Low self-esteem.
Low self-esteem.
Yes.
That's right.
How do we deal with this then, honey?
Low self-esteem, depression, sometimes suicidal tendencies.
Yes.
And they tend to be more self-conscious in front of their partners. And I remember those times too that you kept asking me if I still loved you.
Yeah.
If I still loved you.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife could ask me more than 20 times in a day if I still loved her. And it used to kind of hurt me because I used to think, but why would she think that I don't love her? I mean, you've brought joy into our home. You've brought life into our home. So why would I not love you? Why would I, due to body changes and all that, why would I then begin to think otherwise?
That's right.
That used to really get deep. It just really used to touch me. And I knew that I needed to affirm this to her every now and again, that I loved her no matter what. and that's what I've been doing ever since then. And because that helps to build back the confidence of the woman.
Yes.
Whether we like it or not, women are always particular about their bodies.
Yes.
Their bodies, for men, you may not really particular about your body, but for women, it is key to them. It is so important.
Yes.
And so as husbands, we have to be there to support our wives
Honey,
through this
for
process.
women who are trying their best, they are aware and they're trying to do their best to change.
Yeah.
Things like stretch marks will never, they will not, no matter how you try, they won't go.
Look, Andy even says something that swimming helps keep things right.
Yes, we'll get to that, what we can do.
Exercises and stuff like that.
Exercise, what we can do.
Andy, that's good.
Yes, that's good. But what we're looking at right now is in the middle of it, when you're in it.
When you're in it, that's
when
right.
you're in there, and you can't shift it, you can't shift the weight, you can't shift the belly fat, you cannot do anything about the spider veins on the stretch marks on your belly. Everything is changed, lines in the middle of your stomach, etc., etc. Sarah said they stay forever. Absolutely. They stay forever.
That's right.
How do you get your wife, how do you get the woman to feel good about herself despite these things? How do you how do you help your wife feel good about themselves despite these things? Honey, I remember once a long time ago you said to me, I said, oh, maybe I just can't control myself because I'm trying, but maybe I just I'm just eating too much. I eat everything, maybe I can't control. And you said something to me. You said, hon, I know you've got to do that bit. I know you've got to do that bit, but you didn't bring this on yourself because when I married you, you ate.
Exactly.
But you were a size 10 and 12.
Yeah.
So, definitely childbirth has its role that it has played.
That's right.
So, and that was so encouraging, the way that my husband put it. That was so encouraging to me. Like, look at it this way. Yes, we need to do something about it. And yes, as we keep working on it, but do not forget that some of us feel like, oh my gosh, maybe we just eat too much. But I ate too much 17 years ago before I started having children. I was a big eater, but I stayed what?
You stayed slim.
I stayed slim.
So obviously, because you're now pregnant, there are changes that
definitely
must definitely happen. And before I go into that, let me just acknowledge Indidi, who's just written good evening, Pastor. So,
good evening, Indidi.
God bless you. Good evening. And Sarah said
take us shopping.
I like that one.
Spoilers. I love what Shegu Kumbi said. I love what Shegu Kumbi said. He said, you can prepare ahead before the changes. Face the realization that the changes will come. That preparation reduces the shock. That's true.
Absolutely.
And
knowing that changes will come. And having already in your mind how you're going to cope and deal with it alongside with your husband, that is so beautiful. That's so wonderful.
You know how some women would actually not in the bedroom. They want themselves covered. Yeah. They want to be covered. Yeah. Whilst in the bedroom, they can't stand the sight of of themselves. They can't stand it.
They can't stand it. And can't even look at themselves in the mirror.
They can't look at themselves. You can't look at yourself in the mirror. You can't stand the sight of you. Yes, whilst there are things to do to help you get to the body you want, because apparently they say this, that if you really want something so badly, you will do what you can to get that thing that you want. But we know that it's easier said than done. So in that process, how can husbands encourage,
their wives,
support their wives
to make sure that their wives are going on the right track?
That's right.
Right. So one of the things that I know that has worked for me, and which I have done over time, is reaffirming my wife. So husbands, you can reaffirm your love for your wife. You can support them by letting them know that they are still beautiful inside out. And I know that they're still beautiful inside out.
Yeah.
Physically beautiful and sweet as ever. I'd say this to my wife. I said, well, you're even looking more beautiful than when I first met you. And I mean it. And I mean it from her. And I keep saying it. Because, even despite the fact that she's had 3 children for me, the children are grown. Yes, her body has changed. Not the way I met her when when I first met her.
Yeah.
But I find that I'm actually still in love with her.
Yes.
And I love her even more than then when I first met her.
Let me say a few hellos.
Yes,
I have to say a few hellos. Hi, Yeti. Yeti, welcome. Karen, welcome.
Yeah,
Karen's just joined as well. I think I'll say hello, put a comment down so we know you're there.
Yeah.
Augusta is here as well.
And Chris
has joined as well.
And then my cousin Roland.
Roland, how are you, Roland? How are you? How are you? How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay.
God bless you.
So
nice
we're talking about
we're
talking about the changes that women go through. Hi, Augusta. The changes that women go through and how the effect that it has on us. On our self-esteem, on our confidence level, on our, the way that we feel in front of our husbands, and the way that we feel when we're naked before our husbands and things like that, isn't it, hon?
Yeah, that's right.
When you're together in bed, because of these body changes, you feel so self-conscious, and we know that there are a lot of women who have done a lot and even gone to the extreme of losing their lives just for for wanting to do something to their body to please their husbands, isn't it?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I mean, honey,
So reaffirming your wives, reaffirming them,
yes,
letting them know that look, you are still beautiful.
I love you, full stop.
And I love you, full stop. That's the end of it. I mean, I don't care what anyone's saying, but I just love you. No one can say anything horrible about my wife that has not bore the pain of bringing my children into this world. So the support that we husbands can actually give our wife is by letting them know verbally every now and again that they are still beautiful inside out, and indeed they are still beautiful inside out.
Can we just take a moment now, guys? Let's share this video because this is such an important topic. Let's share it. A lot of women are dying in low self-esteem, comparing themselves with other people, and another thing is the mental and physical abuse of some husbands who are not even supportive of their wives at all in this journey. Some husbands verbally abuse them. Oh, look, you can't even do anything about yourself. You're so fat. You've gone so fat. And can you imagine what that would do to a woman, to a wife? Can you imagine that? Okay.
So really, you cannot. As husbands, we have to really know. That we have to put ourselves in the shoes of our wives. It's not easy to carry a pregnancy for 9 months. It is not simple at all. All the ups and downs, all the sicknesses, all the health issues, all the eating habit changes, and all the rest of it that accompanies pregnancy. Now the baby has come. More than anything before, the support that our wives need is that of the husband. The support that the wife needs is that of the husband. And so reaffirming your wives, supporting them by letting them know that they're still beautiful inside out.
That's right.
That's one of the most beautiful things that you can ever give your wife. Your wife will never, ever, ever forget that. And secondly, because we know that some women indeed, even no matter how much you still say that they're still so concerned about their pregnancy body.
Yeah.
They're still so eager to lose weight.
Yeah.
But guess what? To help her out, why don't you both find a conducive weight loss program and then join her in working out the program?
Yeah.
Join her in working it out.
Yes.
Support her in it. Join her in doing it.
Honey, I like it when you tell me that. I like it when you say this, that, your struggles are my struggles.
Exactly.
So, that's so encouraging. Your struggles are my struggles,
That's right.
Now, it's not even about just the weight. For some women, they stay skinny, but then they find that their breasts are not as full as it was, and they start to lose confidence in themselves before their husband. And not only do they then find that their breasts are sagging, it's smaller, it's sagging, and the more you have babies, the more it sags. Yes?
Yeah.
So, in fact, for someone like me, which is why I remember saying once to someone that I know I need to lose weight. I know I want to lose weight, but there were times when I didn't want to. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
Because I confided in this lady. I said, if I lose weight, I'm going to be all saggy. And then I don't know how I'm going to look in front of my husband. Yes. So I didn't want that. So and she was like, you don't want to lose weight. I'm like, and another thing, I'm enjoying every other thing more than I did when I was skinny.
Yeah.
So if I lose weight, am I going to stop enjoying the things that I enjoy? You know what I mean? The other room enjoyment. I mean, it is better. It's so much better than when I was skinny. So this is me, guys. This is so So for some women, it's not even about the weight loss.
Yeah.
For some, it is their skin, like stretch marks and spider veins all over, and they're just, even though they haven't even put on weight, but they've got all of that all around, and they're so self-conscious about it. Yes.
And also the sometimes too, it may not be the weight, it may not be even the skin, it may even be the task of having to care for a baby, even
children,
even in those times.
Yeah.
It might even be that may become the heavy weight on your wife.
That's right.
For instance, I know that, as men, I know we're the ones we go out, we earn the money, we bring money home and all the rest of it, but that does not stop us from
we
also
earn
being
money
supportive.
too. We earn money too.
Yeah, I know.
We go out, we earn money too.
I understand that. I understand that. Yeah, but you see, because men bear this a lot, and men want to be the ones that actually provide for the home. Men feel very fulfilled when they're able to provide for their families, for their family. But then again, in saying that, some men go to the extent of like, well, I bring all the money home, so why can you not take care of the baby? That kind of thing. And so, but your wife's confidence will so be built up if you come home after work, even if you can be tired and exhausted, but at least help to do something. Help to do something. Maybe take the baby for a while, let your wife rest and sleep for a while because she's been with the baby. I tell you something, carrying babies can be more tasking than going to the construction field. Handling babies during the day, trust me, can be so exhausting than going to the...
Hi. Should we say hi again to
yes,
many people have joined?
Hi, Pastor Olu.
Pastor
Olu.
Live
from Nigeria. God bless you.
Bless you, Pastor Deolu.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Right, guys,
wonderful.
why don't we share this? We're talking about what women go through and some of the way that they feel inadequate.
That's right.
Once they've got these changes in their bodies after childbirth.
Yeah.
So, it hasn't kind of like been their fault, but this has now happened to them, and they have to kind of like struggle with these, with coming to terms with the changes. So, guys, husbands, what do we do? How do you support us? How do you encourage us? Words of affirmation, telling us how much. I remember I always say this to my husband, do you love me? And I know a lot of women do that. Yeah, I keep asking. I ask that, do you love me? Do you,
That's right.
And so we want to know.
That's
want to know.
Right.
That's right. Look at this. Let's take some comments. Look, make time each week to sit and be present with your partner.
And your baby.
That's just gone. That's just gone.
Well,
now.
I guess that's just...
Hang on a minute. We can get some of the comments up, can't we?
No, I don't think so. We can't do that. Right. So find time to be present with your partner and the baby and sit and talk. I believe that's what that comment was about.
Yeah.
Being able to sit and talk and being able to, actually just talk through things, appreciate yourselves.
Yes.
See where God has brought you and see what, how things are, and actually communicating. That's so
communication, isn't it?
That's so key. Yeah.
Thank you, Rachel, for sharing this. Thank you, everyone that has shared this. The rest of us, please click the share button. Let's share this video and let's get other people talking about this as well, joining into this conversation and talking about it as well. Listen to what Ndidi says. Having my 3 babies and caring for them took me through different stages of growth. And I had them through cesarean section. My husband couldn't be there because of work. So from a size 8, I went up to a size 14. It has really been quite a journey, but in it all, I loved every bit of me all the way, and my husband had no choice.
Let's see. I had no choice but to actually love you. I want to conclude that because
we can't see the rest of the comment.
But then it's that
that's amazing.
That's amazing, isn't it?
That's amazing.
That's so amazing.
Owning your life, owning you, being you. Yes, being you in that season, just relishing that season of your life and what it is you can do to make yourself feel better. You might not have achieved that, body weight that you're looking for after all your children. Right. But what are the steps? Loving you is so important. Loving you is so important because what it will do is it will give you that boost, isn't it, hon?
That's right.
You can then tell her when she looks great. Okay, this is to the husband.
Comment, yeah.
Compliment her on her bum.
Oh, that's just cut off now. Anyway, we get that. So yeah, telling her she looks great, complimenting her on her bump, and really, indeed, mean it from the bottom of your heart because that's exactly what it is.
Yes.
It's a change that's necessary, and it's a change if indeed you want to have children. It's a change that's necessary, and it's a change that must be appreciated. And husbands, you've just got to support your wives in this.
Do you know that some ladies
mean it, don't just fake it.
That's right. Some ladies, do you know, some ladies suffer so much mental and physical abuse. Well, not physical,
mental and
verbal abuse
from their husbands.
Some have even left. Some men have left their wives.
Yeah, we've heard of stories of that men have left
they
their
can't
wives
just cope with the change.
They can't cope with the change.
They can't cope with the change.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
What do you guys think? And that's quite.
I think that's mean.
That's mean. That really
is mean. How can you do that to a woman who has carried your children and born your, gave birth to your children? How could you do that? So. I don't know. How could you do that? Yeah.
And I think that, for men who might have issues with things like that and know that they're not going to be able to cope with it, then the simple solution is don't decide to have children then. I mean, decide that you're not going to have children then.
Yes.
Maybe then that's going to just solve the situation.
Yes,
rather
that
than
could solve.
Make your wife go through that pain, have children, and then become mentally or verbally abusive just because you think she can't return back to how she was when you met her. So I think, men, we need to rise up in this.
Okay.
And we need to affirm our wives, support them, let them know that we love them, from inside out. And tell you what, when you affirm your wife like that, she becomes more beautiful to behold. Honestly, she becomes even more attractive. I tell my wife
more confident.
I tell my wife that you're even more attractive than how you were when I first met you. That's the truth. She's more attractive. She's more beautiful. I don't know how that's happened, but I just know that's just the way it has happened. And and I bless God for that.
So obviously that makes me feel confident.
Exactly.
In my husband's love for me, that makes me feel confident. I can imagine what it must be. I cannot imagine what it must be like to be married to someone who is comparing you, criticizing you, blaming you for what you've become, and comparing you with other ladies out there.
Other ladies out there who perhaps are single, not even engaged, or not even married, have never had any children.
Hello, Funke.
And that's it.
Welcome.
So it says avoid criticism or blame. That's beautiful. Avoid criticism or blame. And so, it's beautiful. So men, let us support our wives. Let's get in there and be the best husbands that we can be, even through the changes and through the pregnancies. Yes. And I believe that, our marriages can get better based on that.
So listen to this. As men, we often take for granted the ultimate sacrifice women have to make during the 9-month pregnancy process. Her body will go through unbelievable changes. She will be at risk of several different serious health issues. Her eating habits will increase. Her moods will swing. Her sleeping patterns will adjust. Her self-esteem will take a hit. And most importantly, her life will be at risk. But we unfairly expect her body to snap straight back in place as if she was the mother on The Incredibles. She'll be left with battle marks and scars.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
She will try and hide them. This is sad, but it's true.
Yeah.
She will struggle every day with the feeling of whether she's attractive enough or not, especially even to her own husband. But the reality is that she has sacrificed her body and her vanity to bring lives into this world. Therefore, husband, you should cherish her.
That's right.
You should compliment her daily. Let her know she's even more beautiful now than ever before.
Yeah. And look at what Pastor Dale says. It means that some men are still boys when they got married and have no sense of commitment.
That's right.
And
that's
that's
right.
exactly right.
A man who will walk out on his wife just due to, body changes after childbirth. These things are real.
They're real.
They're
They
there.
happen.
They are there.
We've heard of cases like that. They happen.
Yes.
So it means that those guys are still boys, not actually men.
Yes.
So, and they have no sense of what commitment is all
Did you
about.
have some of those comments?
Yeah. So, in fact, look at some of the comments. There's one particular comment here that one person put that after she had her child, she went through a postpartum or postnatal, isn't it?
Yes.
Depression. And she said it just makes her cry for no reason at all, and she can't stop crying. So can you imagine that? It makes her cry for no reason at all, and she can't stop crying.
And I
so
remember,
as a husband, what do you do
what
in
do
this?
you do?
In
And
this
I remember this actually
Yeah.
happening to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't know at the time that this was what it was. When I had my second child, I think we lived in London at the time.
Yeah, well,
And
at the time, yeah.
I couldn't stop crying. I felt so alone. I felt so lonely.
So I would go to work.
It was horrible.
And I'll come back home, I'll just meet my wife in tears and crying. And I'll be like, what?
I couldn't stop.
What's going on?
I would cry and I would cry and I would cry. And I didn't realize what I was going through. I didn't realize what it was called.
Neither did I even know what
Neither
it was
did I
called.
even know what it was
I
called.
just felt, oh God,
But
what's going on
I
here?
was always crying after my second child. During the first 3 months, I was literally in tears. I felt lonely. I felt alone. I felt like, I had no help. I was crying. Sometimes even when, it wasn't like the work was so much, but I just didn't know why I was crying. I didn't know why I was crying. I would cry. I wouldn't know why I was crying. And it just carried on for months. And a lot of women go through this. And it moves into deep depression.
That's right.
It goes into deep depression. And then,
If it's not checked,
and
it
if
could
that's
end
not
up
checked,
becoming suicidal.
that could become suicidal.
Very suicidal. Yeah. So husbands, we have quite a lot of work to do.
Right,
Bringing
okay.
up the morale and the confidence.
That's right.
Of our wives.
Okay,
Good.
so I think this is all we've got now. Unless anyone has any
other
questions, comments, questions, thoughts at all, put them down in the box and we can just read those through and answer. But other than that,
Yes.
this is all we have tonight. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, Gina. Lovely to, see you. Thank you, Pastor Jill. Thank you, TY. Thank you, everyone who has joined in tonight on this topic of,
How husbands can help their wives through the changes that occur in women's bodies after childbirth.
After childbirth.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's so real. This is so real.
so real.
Yeah. A lot of women are suffering today because they can't even cope with the changes themselves. They need that. They can't, and they need that shoulder of their husband. I like that.
I like that.
Andy
said men
men
go to the prenatal class. It helps.
Yes.
Absolutely. If there's a prenatal class that would help men handle the changes that happens to their wives during and after pregnancy, I recommend that to every husband to actually go to that. That is so true. That's so cool.
But then again, some women also find it hard, even 20 years after having children. Yes, look at that. It doesn't have anything to do with prenatal classes. It is the bonding in the process, whether the husband is home or not. Perhaps in my case, even though I was an active broadcasting during my childbearing years, working odd hours, coming home to my husband who was
coming home to no husband who was at his
duty post. I made sure that he was home for.
Oh, why do we not get the full
why are we not getting the full comments? Anyway,
we understand and we get what you mean, that it is the bonding, it is the heart,
understanding, the heart connection,
the heart connection, which is
so important,
which is so true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Guys, do us a favor.
Yeah.
Share this video. Okay, just click the share button, and just to let you know that we've got our conference coming up next Saturday, the Kisses and Hugs conference. If you're in the UK, or you know other couples who reside in the UK, who live in the UK, let them know about this conference. It's only next Saturday, and we would love to see you there. After this video, I'm going to put the links on there on how you can register for our conference, so you can actually get to see us face to face, and that would be amazing. I just want to say thank you again to everyone, and I
want to say we'll respond to your comments right after now, because we can't carry on beyond this time. But thank you for all your comments. God bless you, and keep the fire in your marriages burning.
That's right.
Keep the love glowing, by accepting each other, by the bonding, the communication, the heart-to-heart talks that you have with yourselves, knowing that you're in it for the long haul. And we hope to see those of us that are in London, in Essex, in the Kent area on the 25th. It's going to be a marvelous time. So thank you for your time once again.
You.
Have a good
God bless you, Funke. Funke, you're in Kent. Make sure you're at the conference. God bless you. Bye-bye now.
Bye now from us.